Thank you to Johan. Good Mirabi music. Now with that, it is time for the blessings, the love of Archangel Michael to come with us, to be with us here. I don't often have guests here in the Chambra Theater, once in a while, but no, I like my time of being with you. We have a lot of work to do. I like to keep pushing it through, but I especially like how Mihajlo and Robert Theiss and Coca bring the energies together and bring this beautiful energy of Mihajlo through to all of you. And I do want to point out that this lectern that we have here is truly a gift of the families of Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, of Yeshua indeed, and Metatron. So this is yours. Thank you. And with that, an honor to share this stage with Archangel Mihajlo. Thank you. Thank you.
Curator, you left your book?
Oh, it's for you to read.
Oh, yes.
There's some good information in there for you, Mike.
Yes.
Yes.
Which chapter do you recommend, dude?
Yes, I like Alchemy of Light and Dark. Is one of my favorites. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Good. Thank you.
Greetings. How do I be with you without the sword? Are you done allowing me to fight your demons for you? Is it really that time that we could be so free to know that there's nothing out there or within you you need fear ever again? Are you ready for that freedom? Indeed. This is the group. This is the group at the forefront of such a freedom. For my dear friend and master teacher Adamus has presented and shared with you a variety of products, services, programs.
But alas, I am not an archangel.
Indeed.
Simply an ascended master.
Indeed.
Which you remind me of all the time.
Indeed.
But
and
I
as
do
you
have a nice robe.
Yeah.
And a book.
But with this group, after all the teachings, all the dancing and all the celebration, can we really finally make this real? The energy, the dimension, the experience, the love for life itself to become the new lovers of life? Do you have that love for yourself to be that? Indeed, as Adamus has been sharing with you, to stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about love. I am absolutely in love with you, or I wouldn't be here. For is this not a rather boring type of experience if you're not in love with life? No. Stop dragging me along. This is the time, and you are the group. There is no one else in front of you. Is that a burden or a joy? Indeed. Is it a burden or a joy? Indeed. It is my joy, then, to serve the new creators. For that is who I look at. Those that had the courage to go into a journey, an adventure, an experience, to discover something that no one else has discovered, minus all the ascended masters. But they too are absolutely in love with you. They can't help but be in love with you, just as you are. And it would break their heart as it would break my heart if you chose to turn your back to this type of freedom, a freedom that places you always at the forefront of your own creations. Always. How bold of a step. How bold of a step. Is there such a love in this room for that boldness? We see it. We see it. And we understand in the blink of an eye you would wish it all to be true, and yet your body would not be able to integrate. Your mind would indeed become even crazier. But you have the wisdom and the love to allow for this to integrate. But is there tomorrow to make this choice truly real? Does tomorrow exist for this experience? Are you going to wait for tomorrow? Indeed. Indeed. And you're going to stop asking me to fight the creatures that you created. With this group, I lay my sword down. Why? Not because, as my partner suspects, I might be developing carpal tunnel. Indeed. I lay my sword down out of the deepest respect to now co-create with you consciously, not above you, for you gave birth to me as an archangel. All that I am, you are. Now own it. Own it. Breathe that potential in as if it was real. Even if your mind questions, how could I be this? For all the books and all the teachings have suggested otherwise. Look up above you, and there you will find something greater than yourself. But we look down upon you and see the greatness. We see it. Now stop hiding from it. Now, my question, truly my question, how do you want me to serve you, creators? The sword is down. No more battles. It's not about light and dark. There's nothing out there we need fear. How can I serve you? Speak. Up here. Volunteer first. Indeed.
I get a mic too?
You get anything you want.
Thank you.
Do you prefer a different color? At the lectern, please.
I'd like to ride upon your wings and see what you see.
No.
No? Would you like to ride upon my wings and see what I see?
What if the wings never existed? But are we willing to take flight together? In your words.
To journey and to fly and to see and to experience and to be and to breathe. To feel.
Yes. Now, are you really wanting this freedom? Let me demonstrate. May I touch your body?
Yes.
You cannot have it. Respond.
You're not even touching me. I am gone. I'm done.
You touch the legs. May he touch your body. Hold her legs. You want to walk? You cannot.
I can. I'm already walking. I don't need my body to walk.
You're in your body. This whole
part of
transformation happens not in a concept, but as a physical experience. How does it feel to be denied the freedom to walk?
I'm not, though. I'm not denied the freedom to walk.
Walk. How does it feel? He's a beautiful man, an ideal public servant, but he's going to be stuck to you the rest of your life. Please, don't harm the lectern. We just want to demonstrate. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
But we want to demonstrate. You must want this freedom. Who else is clinging to you? Who else are you allowing to cling to you in the name of what? You must take it and say no to those who are uncomfortable, or, as Adamus has been speaking, it is simply not their time. Perhaps in your lifetime, those that your heart is so deeply connected to from a place of compassion, they'll never get it. Are you willing to compromise your freedom for their timing? But are you willing to be a living example for all of humanity that wants to know, is there something that's outside all the dogma that's been stuffed down our throats? Indeed. Indeed. So, you are the new spirit freedom walkers, the new living creators, the new shamans, the priestess reborn, the priest without a sermon. Ah, doesn't that feel wonderful? No offense. The priest without a sermon. Just walking freedom. Just the consciousness to be that alive. This is the time, today, in this moment. This is the time to own this. Does the freedom have to become channeled for it to be real? Can you speak on behalf of your own divinity? Yes. And own it? Yes. And remember it? Yes. Indeed. Indeed. Another volunteer. Perhaps this direction.
Which direction?
Right in front of us. Bob is very upset. He's got 3 days on the road left with her.
Oh. Sorry. I'm only following direction. Thank you. What is it that...
How do I serve you, dear
How do you serve me?
priestess?
You really do want to drive 3 days with me?
Indeed, indeed. You speak on behalf of a lineage born of a gender that has outworn itself. You speak of a sovereignty that has not been realized. You live a state of grace that has been denied. How may I serve you as the new creator?
I think the best way to serve me is to trust that I can do that myself.
Thank you. Thank you. Another volunteer. Ah, we have one already. Indeed.
I knew this was coming.
I'm not as polite as Adamus. How do I serve you?
It's allowing me to be all that I am.
So be it. So be it. It's this easy, is it not?
Yes, actually.
Can we not just now dance together, celebrate together? Do we have to maintain this facade between physical and the etheric realms? No. Indeed. Indeed. Then shall we open it up to general questions?
I feel one over here.
What came to me as you were talking about serving was in joy, and just the fairy realms and just seeing things and feeling things. It's been so magical.
Yes. Yes. Now play with that magic with even those that look unaware and too dense to feel and to know. See them as fairies that simply have lost their way. And stop waiting for them then to become more of what you already are in order to give yourself permission to really take flight here. For it just might not be their time, but it is your time. Absolutely. What is it that Adamus has that you are lacking? Truly. What is it that Adamus has that you are lacking? Now, come on, let's be honest.
The realization of experience.
Yes, but we've already agreed. The experience begins now. For you?
Yes.
And what else is lacking? You're right.
Only the realization.
Yes. And yet it begins now? Wouldn't it be more fun to dance with this character?
After the barbecue.
Indeed. He's a rather good dancer. He's demonstrating a freedom that you deny yourself. He's demonstrating a freedom that is your birthright. He's demonstrating it from both a place of comedy and grace. And he's offering you the opportunity to fall in love with what he has already fallen in love with. Now, it begins now with the next breath. And then it's done. You're done. And then come together to celebrate what you choose consciously to breathe, the potential without knowing what that becomes. You and I have done grand battle together. And you will develop carpal tunnel. Let's pass it around. Thank you.
What am I doing?
Closer to the mouth. Yes.
What's the question?
It's your question. I have the answers.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, it feels so good just to stand tall, to feel your spine supporting your entire body, all the history that you've been carrying, all the pain, all the disguises you've worn.
I'm ready to let those go.
Indeed, that is so strong, that spine. It will support that body. Your legs are strong, your body is firm. It just wants to dance now. That's all
ready.
it wants to do.
I'm ready.
Yes. Yes.
Where?
Throughout our many discussions that we've had together over the
Indeed.
many millennia, who's doing the most talking, you or my grand self?
Who do you want to believe is doing the most talking?
The grand self.
Then believe
But-
it. But then, are you willing to act on what you hear to be your truth and own to be your truth and claim that to be your truth and not listen to all the background noise that comes in that suggests that's not you, that asks the question, who's speaking?
Yes.
Do you want that freedom to have that kind of clarity? He's got it.
He's had it for a long time.
No, I don't know about that. Yes, was it not Tobias who listened to my bird sounds in his own imprisonment?
Yes.
And what, dear fellow, were you saying to me with the same Tweety birds caught in your crystal?
100,000 years. Have I told you the story?
Yeah. Yes. I think it had 4 letters repeating over and over again. So we've made that clear.
Mm-hmm.
You've made a choice. And you breathe that in to make that consciously a part of what you're doing, what you're believing, what you're feeling, what you're experiencing. And then we move on.
Yes.
You're done. 2, then, ascended masters just beginning to manifest it into a physical reality because you choose to make it real here. He's demonstrating a freedom that very, very few have chosen to really embody. That you could have your cake and eat it too. You can be here in physical and enjoy the etherics. Or were the etherics truly that boring that you had to come here? Yes. More questions? And let's include Adamus.
I would like to hear both of you to talk to the difference and the empowerment or the disempowerment between caretaking and compassioning.
Yes. If you're willing to caretake for yourself, that is a profound state of compassion. If you're caretaking for others who are using your life as a support system, then what do you call that?
Yeah, exactly. It is very easy to get caught in this whole feeding trap, and there's others who simply want your energy. They want to take that. So it really depends on why you're doing it. And why would you choose to do this? Caretaking. Compassion, sorrow, healing, having been in the same role perhaps in the past as the one needed to be taken care of and now coming back to caretake. So what is it that brings this out in you? Don't know?
No.
Do you enjoy it?
Sometimes.
When don't you enjoy it? When you feel tired, exhausted, wondering if it's really helping?
When the effect is that it interferes with other people's simplicity and
Yes.
empowerment rather than giving them back themselves.
Yes. And there's a time when all of you have been caretakers in one form or the other, your families, perhaps your profession, but when you've taken care of others, one of the difficult things was going from being the energy holder and the caretaker to the energy pioneer and pirate. Very difficult because there is still part of you that feels very compassionate about that role and loves that. Part of you that feels a little selfish about doing this enlightenment thing all for yourself. But I would have to say that any of you who are actively involved in caretaking, there'll come a point when you need to move out of that to take care of yourself. Yes. Thank you. Good. I think we have time for three more.
Three more.
Question. My question would be, I am not remembering all the other realms.
Yes.
I know they are there. Is that important in my enlightenment?
Thanks. It's only important for you to remember how it feels to be connected to the other realms. And as you trust the feeling of that connection, the information, without any clue to your mind, will seem to download into your own awareness as becoming then real. But if you would trust the feeling, the connection here between Cauldre and Adamus would not have developed if Cauldre simply didn't trust eventually the feeling of this relationship, so that Adamus could tell you about the other realms. And so the gift that's being demonstrated is a gift that's being shared with you. It is also your birthright. We want all of you up here so that we can sit here to listen to your wisdom. After a while, we don't have any more words to tell you. We're going to run out of stories.
And the other thing to bear in mind is, let's do a little shift in the whole concept of other realms. There really are not other realms. There is this realm, whether it is perceived with a very narrow focus or a very broad focus. It's really all the same realm. Always was, always will be. So it's about taking a deep breath and feeling free to perceive into the greater areas of this realm. Let's not think about them being up there and down here or anything like that. Definitely, I don't know about you, Mike, but I am not a fan of dimensions, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. It's kind of all the same. It's what are you allowing yourself to boldly perceive? Now, because humans have been limited or contained within a certain level of perception. When they open up, it feels uncomfortable. They get vertigo. They feel they're going out of their mind. Their body starts puking and crapping and doing all these other things, and they feel very uncomfortable. But that's just an adjustment into the broadness of this realm. Yeah, I don't like when we get into all these other dimensions and realms. It creates even more separation. It's how big are you willing to breathe into this realm? Eh? Yes. What a great T-shirt. Yes.
Indeed. We're a little hard of hearing. Creator.
It's been a long time.
Question?
Answer.
Good. I think we're done. It was a bit odd.
How do you get away with
Paul,
it?
Go ahead. I think we'll have to do it again.
Stepping out of the mind.
Yes.
Speak about it.
And I have to clean up after him.
Which one got him out of the mind?
That was perfect.
Let me ask Paul, why are you in the mind? What's the story? What's the story?
There is no story.
Okay. Why the mind?
Well, at one time it was comfortable.
Yeah.
But no longer.
Okay. And where to next?
Beyond the mind.
Yeah, but, yeah. Where's that going to take you?
Into the heart.
Maybe. Yeah. But I would say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You trust yourself, it doesn't matter. Go out of the mind, beyond the limitations. It doesn't matter, because it's going to be grand. It's going to be grand. Yeah. Good. So stop thinking about going out of the mind.
Awesome.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a lot of very mental, if you haven't noticed, very mental energies. And if you can feel there's kind of a heaviness in the room, tightness in the room, sleepiness. It should be a time of celebrating, but still thinking about it. So what's happening right now? There's an underlying shift going on. And who knows? You might go home tonight and have a terrible headache. Yeah. But why not? It's just indicative of something going on. Or you may be just terribly confused. What happened at the hall today with Shambra? I don't get it. You're going to try to make sense, as you might be doing right now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That shift is occurring. Why? Because you're letting it. Yes. Good. One more. Really good question. Really amazing question.
Does this mean that since Geoffrey channels Adamus, and I don't know your name, but you channel Michael, does this mean, thank you, Robert, does this mean that we're all going to let go and channel a bunch of other people?
Let's stop channeling. I don't want to be channeled. I want to be embraced as also being an aspect of Robert. I also want to be embraced as an aspect of you. Can we just stop creating the separation? There'll come a time here when channeling is not appropriate. Do you think Geoffrey will lack the wisdom?
No, but I know I talk about it or think about it a lot. Think about it, Ron, is the integration of my
higher self, grander self,
right,
lower
grander
self, middle self, all self,
right.
God self, conscious creator self, something that the human just can't figure out before the integration occurs. So can we stop? But otherwise, what's going to happen?
Well, the separation continues.
Indeed, and the pain and the suffering and the lack of, what is it that you're lacking that he already embodies?
Nothing.
Well, you're asking...
Except for the question about the separation part. So does that mean that Geoffrey goes away and Adamus stays?
Well, let's hope not.
I mean, these are questions that come up. And so...
Not that potential.
I know, but it's a question.
Imagine, again, we're going to... We're going to focus. We're going to be the potentials that could not necessarily have been imagined in the Atlantean mind. That's why today we're crossing that line. You're not going to need channels like this as we do it now, because you're going to be in a group and you're going to be at the lectern sharing with each other and laughing with each other, or an entity will appear and you're going to be able to see it. And right now you say, but I don't know how to do that, and how does that happen? Don't we need somebody to facilitate it? No, an entity will appear in perhaps not in physical form, but in their energy form, and you'll be able to see that entity and hear it. And that entity is not necessarily going to be here to tell you how to do it, but will share with some of the ways that they are doing things, and listening to how you are doing them. So let's clear all the old ways of thinking out of the table. Let's not think like Atlanteans anymore.
And that's why I needed to ask the question.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So let's take a deep breath. Yes, the hour has come, the minute has come, the time has come for us to take a walk over that Atlantean line. Beyond the mental, I'll be probing you, I'll be prodding you to stop thinking like an Atlantean, to open up to dreams and potentials. What maybe today in that mind you might think is crazy, what you're going to come to realize is not at all. You want to do it, this thing, enlightenment, because it is a grand challenge, very rewarding, highly stimulating, breaks out of the old human mold, because you can, because you've spent 1,000 or more lifetimes on Earth. You want to do it just to do it. And as you do, it will make a tremendous difference in the consciousness of this planet. All of the consciousness and the energy that you're putting out will go and be made available for the potential of others. Let's take a deep breath together as we cross that Atlantean line. As we go into the new potentials that aren't linear, that aren't limited. Let's take a deep breath and give thanks to Archangel Mihajlo, to Robert, to Coca, for being here in the Chambre Theater. Let's take a deep breath for all of the entities and for you. And when you walk out of here, when you leave this energy and you wonder what it's all about, if you're doing it right, when it will come to be, and any of those other questions, you take a deep breath and you say to yourself, all is well in all of creation.